The honourable member for Don Valley West.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, our government not only delivered a prudent, balanced budget, but one that also contains important measures to address the priorities of Canadians. I am pleased to take the opportunity to discuss a few highlights today, and I will be sharing my time with the member from Burlington, Mr. Speaker. Just as our government has worked hard to bring a balanced budget, everyday Canadian families are also working hard to balance their budgets. That's one of the reasons why I'm particularly happy about Budget 2015, because it supports Canadian families in meaningful ways. We have recognized that each family is unique, and we're not attempting a one-size-fits-all solution, as some of our opposition members are proposing. One such example is the universal child care benefit, giving families $1,920 per year for each child under 6 and $720 per year for children 6 through 17. This money can be used for the needs of children however parents would choose. As promised, our government implemented income splitting for families with minor children. This allows many families to be in a lower tax bracket, keeping more money in mom and dad's pockets. We've also increased the children's fitness tax credit to $1,000. helping provide children the opportunity to participate in a sport they love and build the habit of a healthy, active lifestyle. These tax measures and benefits provide relief for 100% of families, primarily those hard-working, middle-class families. Our government measures provide tax relief and benefits up to $6,600 for an average family of 4. That's almost $7,000 per family each year. I know from experience that raising a family is not inexpensive. And although my children are now grown, I can appreciate what these measures mean to Canadian families with young children. Statistics show that 11 million Canadians have eagerly made use of the tax-free savings accounts. Budget 2015 increased the annual contribution limit to $10,000 each year. I've had numerous constituents in my riding who are quite excited about this new saving opportunity. I've just highlighted measures that benefits families raising the next generation of Canadians, but I'd also like to talk about how Budget 2015 benefits our seniors, those who have spent their lives building Canada into the proud nation that it is today. The financial state of our seniors has seen great improvement. Canada's low-income rate for seniors has fallen from 21.4% in 1980 to 5.2% in 2011, one of the lowest rates in the industrial world. Budget 2011 introduced the largest GIS increase in over 25 years, investing more than $300 million per year to further improve the financial security and well-being of more than 680,000 seniors across Canada. Our government has also implemented pension income splitting for pensioners. In 2014, a single senior can earn at least $20,054, and a couple can earn at least $40,108 before paying federal income tax. As a result of the actions our government has taken since 2006, approximately 380,000 seniors have been removed from federal tax rolls completely. Over the last few years, many of the seniors in my riding had written to me about the need to adjust RRIF rules to bring them into alignment with the increased lifespan of seniors. In response to their letters and calls, I addressed this issue with the Minister of Finance. Budget 2015 significantly reduces the minimum withdrawal factors for RRIFs, allowing seniors to preserve more of their retirement savings. Budget 2015 introduces the Home Accessibility Tax Credit for seniors and persons with disabilities so that they can continue to live independently in their own homes. Speaking of those who have contributed to building our nation, there are those who have put their very lives on the line to defend our nation's freedom and security, our veterans. In Don Valley West, we are proud to be the home of Sunnybrook, the largest veterans center in Canada. I enjoy serving the veterans in my riding, and I'm thankful that our government continues to place their care as a priority. The government has continually made important improvements to the new Veterans Charter to meet the needs of veterans. Economic Action Plan 2015 further demonstrated this growing commitment. This includes the new Retirement Income Security Benefit for moderately to severely injured veterans, expanding access to the Permanent Impairment Allowance to help compensate disabled veterans for the loss of career opportunities, modifying the earning loss benefit to ensure that part-time reserve force members, veterans, have access to the same level of income support as regular full-time reserve force veterans, and increasing the level of individualized care to veterans requiring regular support by improving the ratio of veterans to case managers. In addition to the measures in the 2015 budget, we have also opened new frontline mental health clinics across the country. The new Family Caregiver Relief Benefit will provide veterans who have a service-related injury with an annual tax-free grant of over $7,000 to provide caregivers in the home with flexibility or relief while ensuring that the needs of the seriously injured vets are met. All of these benefits build on our record of keeping our economy strong by defending Canada at home and abroad, enhancing national security, and standing up for our veterans. Mr. Speaker, I've spoken about various groups of people and what the budget means for them. Now I'd like to take the opportunity to highlight what Budget 2015 holds for an issue that I hear about from every age group and people from many walks of life in my riding of Don Valley West, the issue of transit. One of the most common complaints I hear from constituents in Toronto is congested traffic and gridlock. This year's budget held particularly good news for Toronto. The new Innovative Public Transit Fund will invest an additional $750 million over 2 years starting in 2017-18 and $1 billion per year ongoing thereafter. Our mayor called the new Innovative Public Transit Fund, and I quote, a major step forward for Toronto and for the country. Good news for Toronto and good news for cities across Canada. The federal government committed to establishing a dedicated fund to invest in public transportation, end quote. This new transit fund is in addition to the ongoing funding already in place through the new Building Canada plan, continuing to provide $5.35 billion per year on average to infrastructure, and the gas tax fund. Mr. Speaker, I feel very few people know about the Building Canada plan and the gas tax fund. Even fewer understand how these programs have already impacted their cities and municipalities, specifically, in my case, the City of Toronto. For example, since 2006, through the gas tax fund, the Government of Canada has invested more than $2.2 billion to support municipal infrastructure projects across the GTA. Our government doubled, extended, and made the federal gas tax fund permanent. This is a dedicated, predictable, and flexible source of infrastructure funding for municipalities. Despite all contrary claims, since 2006, our investment in infrastructure has been at the highest level and length ever seen in Canadian history. Being a businessman, I like solid numbers without the spin. The facts cannot be clearer. I am proud of our government's record investment in infrastructure. Another issue that I often hear addressed by all age groups is health care funding. The administration of health care is carried out by the province, but the federal government contributes to the funding. This year, the province of Ontario will receive record-high transfer payments from our government to support health care, education, and social programs. Ontario will receive $20.4 billion in federal transfers this year alone. This is an increase of 88% from under the old federal Liberal government, who radically slashed transfer payments to provinces, and we will never do that, nor will we allow it. Our government's balanced budget, low tax plan for jobs, growth, and security is just another demonstration of our strong leadership for Canada, one that has been consistently demonstrated and carried out through actions. This year's Economic Action Plan 2015 is no exception. I look forward to seeing the bright future ahead for our growing, beautiful country, one that we are all proud to call home. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Questions and comments? Question and commentaire. The Honourable Member for Winnipeg North.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is to the member in regards to infrastructure. One of the things that we need to recognize is that the government continuously says that we are investing in the infrastructure like no other government in the past. And really what they're doing, Mr. Speaker, is they're allocating a large block of tax dollars over the next number of years, realizing, and this is the question I have for the member, is that the government is not spending money this year or next year. The actual allotment is heavy at the latter part of its commitment. In other words, Mr. Speaker, they're going to go around throughout the summertime saying, here's something that we're going to give this community, here's something we're going to give this community, knowing full well that that money will not flow until at least a year plus, Mr. Speaker. And I'm wondering if the member would not agree that what's happening is that this government is playing politics or putting politics ahead of the very badly needed infrastructure dollars that we need to be investing today. So the question is, why is the government playing politics with infrastructure dollars?
The Honourable Member for Don Valley West.
Well, Mr. Speaker, I appreciate my colleague's question, and clearly I totally disagree with the premise upon which he places it. The Building Canada Fund was a great initiative established a year ago, setting a 10-year target of $53 billion, the largest in the history of this country. And combine that with the gas tax fund, which we made into law and delivered infrastructure spending to municipalities from day one, absolutely from day one, $2.2 billion to the area that I represent, Mr. Speaker, in Toronto. And so I think that the member opposite has to be fair in assessing that the infrastructure programs that we have established and built and developed are clearly designed to phase in as those applications become available. But those applications, Mr. Speaker, are already underway today, and I can look at a list of projects in my area alone. The Toronto-York Spadina subway extension, $622 million. Toronto Union Station revitalization, $133 million, and on and on. I think I made my point, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.